Let's talk about a topic that might ruffle a few feathers: marriage and religion. How many of us have gotten married not because it was the deepest desire that we had, but because we were told that is what good women do? And let's be real, sometimes marriage works out beautifully, but at other times, women endure abuse, severe control, and heartbreak, all in the name of staying faithful to religious expectations. We're going to unpack this controversial issue. Welcome to my channel. I'm Taylor, and if you are ready for some raw truths, please, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like, subscribe, and let's dive right into it. Now, marriage and religion is really a complex situation. For centuries, religion has played a powerful role in shaping the idea of marriage, especially for women. Many faiths emphasize marriage as a sacred duty and the cornerstone of living a virtuous life, often portraying it as a divine covenant that reflects commitment, love, and sacrifice. And yes, nothing is wrong with that. While this perspective can provide a beautiful framework for unity and purpose in a relationship, it can also become a real heavy burden when the marriage is no longer aligning with those ideals that you sign up for. So when a woman feels pressured to remain in a harmful or unfulfilling marriage because of religious expectations, it can lead her to feelings of guilt, shame, and entrapment. Instead of experiencing marriage as a source of support and love, it can become a source of pain, hard-hitting pain, where the societal and religious weight of staying married takes precedence over personal well-being, the dignity of a woman, and her safety. The challenge lies in the connection between faith and self-worth, and in understanding that honoring God and honoring yourself can go hand in hand. Let's look at some scriptures. I wanna pay attention to some particular scriptures that have been used, sometimes out of context, I think, to place women in a position of subjection. Ephesians 5:22-24. It says, "Let wives be in subjection to their husbands as to the Lord, because a husband is head of his wife, just as the Christ is head of the congregation." Now, this verse is sometimes weaponized to suggest blind obedience. But does it really mean women should accept abuse? I do not think so, because it has been proven and proven again in the media, in the news, that some women have been mistreated, harmed, and some women even lost their lives at the hand of abusive husbands. And not just abusive husbands, but abusive husbands who profess to be Christians, who profess to be leaders of their families and leaders in the congregation. So we could clearly see how this verse has been weaponized to keep the woman in a place of subjection within the marriage, even when her emotional, psychological, and physical safety is threatened. Likewise, 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 4, it says, "Wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, so that even if some do not obey the word, they may be won without a word by the conduct of their wives." So yes, wives can set the example to help their husbands to be won over to the Lord. But what if this doesn't happen? This is often interpreted as encouraging women to endure mistreatment in silence. What if the woman, in keeping with the scriptural direction, holds on in the marriage for 20 years, for 16 years, for 15 years, and the husband still is not won over? The husband still continues in his abusive behavior. Should she stay? Should she stay? I am guilty of that. I stayed in a relationship for 20 years where I was not happy, but married for 16 of those years. And in the end, I decided to get out for my own peace of mind, my happiness, and my safety, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Now, Genesis 3 and verse 16, it says, "Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." This is another scripture that has been used to reinforce male dominance in marriage. Now, women, I am not saying to go against what your spouse says or the direction of your husband. I'm not saying that at all. But there must be compromise, clear communication that is respectful, and mutual understanding of objectives. Because after all, at the wedding, the instruction was, two shall become one. I'm also not saying that we should not have faith, because for many, religion offers comfort. Religion offers hope and purpose. But the interpretation of these teachings has sometimes left many women feeling trapped, unworthy, and even unsafe in their marriages. So I prefer to think that it is your spirituality, your relationship with the true God, that is the saving grace. Because how really do I know that if I stay in an abusive marriage, in an abusive situation, that he will change or at least improve in his behavior? So in my practice, women have also referred to religion as a cage. Here's the truth no one likes to talk about. In some cases, religious teachings about marriage can enable abuse in relationships. Women are told to stay silent, pray harder, submit yourself some more. Your body is not yours. Your body belongs to your husband, and vice versa. So even when there is emotional, verbal, physical, and financial abuse, this is the encouragement. So even when there is serious emotional, verbal, physical, and financial abuse, this is the recommendation. Stay. But let me be clear. Abuse in any form is never part of God's plan for your life. Scripture tells us about dignity and safety. In Psalms 82 and verse 3, it says, "Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed." So all of us, from a humanistic perspective, must show love, care, compassion, because every woman deserves to feel loved, to feel valued, to feel safe in her marriage, in her relationship. Now, we know that there are some men who also suffer abuse, but my focus here today is on women. Women in abusive situations that threaten their well-being. You know, these verses that talk about defending the weak and the fatherless, remind us that God values your dignity and safety. Staying in a harmful situation is not a requirement of faith. There must be a measure of common sense. Your dignity, self-worth, and safety they are integral parts of your identity and your value. God did not create us to endure harm or lose ourselves in the name of submission or sacrifice. Your well-being matters deeply to our Creator, and faith should never be used as a justification for enduring abuse and neglect. We must defend the vulnerable. Women should be able to live in peace and safety. Staying in a harmful situation is not an act of faith, but a misunderstanding of it. Therefore, as women, we have a responsibility to know the truth. True faith empowers you to seek love, to seek respect and safety, trusting that God will walk with you as you make choices to honor the life that He has given you. Let's get practical. Here are 3 steps you can take if you're navigating the tension between faith, marriage, and your well-being. Reflect on your beliefs. What are your beliefs? Ask yourself, are my beliefs empowering me or keeping me stuck? Study scripture for yourself and seek out interpretations that emphasize love, dignity, and mutual respect. Talk to faith leaders who will prioritize your safety and well-being. 2, set boundaries with grace. Setting boundaries doesn't make you a bad wife or less faithful. In fact, boundaries protect what God has already given you. Boundaries help protect your body, your mind, and your spirit. Be clear about the behaviors you will not tolerate, and do not be afraid to insist on those boundaries. And 3, seek support and take action. Abuse thrives in isolation. Reach out to trusted friends and family, professional counseling, or support groups for women experiencing difficulty in marriage, difficulty in relationships. Seek support and take action. Abuse thrives in isolation. Reach out to trusted friends and family. You can also seek professional counseling or join support groups for women who experience difficulty in their marriage or in their relationships. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not a weakness. So taking action might mean standing up for yourself within the relationship or making the difficult decision to leave. Either way, you are honoring the life God has given you. Marriage really was never meant to be a prison. Your faith should uplift you, not diminish you. Your relationship with God is supposed to strengthen you, to fortify you. And if you are feeling trapped by religious expectations, I want you to remember this. God cares about you, your heart, your safety, and your happiness. If you are experiencing difficulty in your relationship, I wish you safety. I wish you comfort. I wish you peace. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. Your story matters, and so does your journey to freedom. It's about positive transformation. So see you in the next video. Bye.